People are literally running out of money at the end of the month. That's not just me saying this. This was actually the CEO of Kraft that said this. And when you look at the data, you might be surprised to hear this because apparently we just had a great jobs report. I'll be talking about that soon. The thing is, he's not the only one that's saying it. McDonald's is saying it, Whirlpool is saying it, and Planet Fitness, one that I think is most interesting. They are saying that people are stretched. Wall Street Journal recently published a report, and the title of the report was "The Great American Job Creation Machine Comes Back to Life." The same Wall Street Journal sat down with the CEO of Kraft, who said that customers are facing a negative cash flow every month. So that literally means they are spending more money than they're taking in. The CEO of McDonald's flagged high economic anxiety, and they also cited the fact that things like the cost of gas prices are causing people to spend less at their locations. Whirlpool, the washer and dryer company, said that discretionary spending is down 15%. They're comparing that to numbers from 2008. Then there's Planet Fitness, the $10 per month gym company. Their stock actually just had the worst single day drop in its entire history. They were planning to increase prices, but they actually slashed their revenue outlook and announced that they were going to have to cancel the increase of their monthly gym membership because the economic sort of situation has shifted. The personal savings rate has also collapsed. We are saving less than a third of what we normally would save on average. And then the last piece of this, credit card debt. Credit card debt just hit a record. We have more than $1.25 trillion piled on to American consumers. And that itself is a trap because when consumers are using their credit cards to survive, they end up paying an enormous amount in credit card interest alone. Basically, throwing that money away on interest.
Hey YouTube, if you've been online recently, you've probably seen more people talking about being broke, cutting back on basic stuff, or just feeling like no matter how much they work, it still isn't enough. And when you look through these clips and conversations, it starts to feel less like random complaints and more like a pattern that's happening everywhere at once. So in this video, we're focusing on how everyday financial pressure is quietly changing both how people live and how companies are forced to respond to that.
So I was just talking to another friend today, texting them, and they're like, hey, he's asking me questions about like if I ever refinance my home, and I'm like, no, that's the one thing I'm not gonna fucking do. He said, we gotta refinance my home because I'm behind on all my bills, but I got like $70,000 in equity. If I take out 50, that'll get me back square. I'm like, yeah, it might get you back square, but all the work and all the time, all the hours you put in to build the equity in your home are now all going to be lost. And then I said in another probably year and a half, you'll be right back in debt again. I'm like, it's not a good idea, man. Don't tap yourself out. Don't refinance your home. If you can do anything else, man, if you got to cut back on buying coffees at the gas station every morning, I'm like, there's ways that shit can add up. It's like you chew tobacco. If you're buying a can of chew like twice a week, you're talking probably, well, I don't know how much that shit is, $20 times 4, talking $80 a month plus coffee. You could save a couple $100. He's like, no, man, I got to do it. It's bigger than that. I got credit card debt and personal loans to pay out the credit card debt, and gas is so expensive, and I'm just getting farther and farther and farther behind. And I don't want to repossess my house. This is the problem with this country. These people get to take the only thing that they have of value and let the bank have their hand on it. The little bit of equity in your home, you gotta fucking cash it out because of being in debt, because you can't afford to live in this damn country. I feel so bad for him, but I know in a way it's like, is it spending habits? Yeah, you chew, you drink, you buy coffee, but this dude don't have no like lavish lifestyle. He don't have like an RV in his driveway or doesn't go on big fancy trips every year. He's just a normal guy, but he's fucking broke because he didn't get a good enough job. I guess if you're making 60, 70 grand a year with a family, you can't make it anymore. Remember back years ago, you could work at like Ames or Sears or be a manager at like Payless Shoe Store, and you could take care of your whole damn family. Now, fuck. Payless Shoe Store, Ames is going to be one of your third jobs. You're going to have 2 other full-time jobs, plus you're going to work at a department store on the weekend. Something is something is wrong. And I don't know why the government doesn't see it, or is it that they just don't care? I think it's both, actually. But it just pisses me off watching people have to go to extreme measures just to be able to fucking survive and to pay their taxes, basically, and buy food for their families. What a fucking time to be alive, huh?
I am really tired of this work harder bullshit. Like, how much harder am I supposed to work before I'm actually allowed to live? I'm exhausted. I'm burnt out. I'm tired of waking up every day just to survive another day to still be broke, behind, and drowning. And maybe the problem isn't that I'm just lazy or that I'm weak. Maybe I'm trying to force myself into a lifestyle and a culture that literally does not fit who I am as a person. Because America is go, 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 go. Work, bills, stress, hustle, productivity, and then repeat. And if you're a single mom here, forget it. Because you're expected to do everything alone and still smile and act grateful for the opportunity that you have to be overworked and undersupported. I don't want a luxury life. I don't want designer shit. I don't need to be rich. I just want peace. I want enough energy at the end of the day to enjoy my child. I want to be able to cook dinner without feeling like I'm gonna collapse. And I want a home that's not a physical manifestation of my mental exhaustion. I want community. I want softness. I want family life. I want to exist without feeling like every second of my life has to be optimized or monetized. And honestly, maybe some people are built for this hustle culture. Maybe some people thrive in this environment, but I don't. And I'm tired of pretending like I do. I'm tired of masking. I'm tired of forcing myself to operate like a machine when my body and mind is screaming at me that this pace is not sustainable for you. People keep saying you just have to work harder. Meanwhile, I'm already running on fumes. Like, maybe, no, I don't need to work harder. Maybe I just need a different life. And maybe that means leaving. Maybe that means moving somewhere slower, somewhere more family oriented, somewhere where people actually know how to live instead of just survive paycheck to paycheck while pretending that this is normal. Because this shit does not feel normal anymore.
A few years ago, most people could deal with small financial surprises without everything falling apart. Now that buffer feels almost completely gone for a lot of households. Things like a car repair or a medical bill used to be stressful, but still manageable for many people if they plan it out a bit. Now, those same expenses can completely throw off an entire month or even push people into debt immediately. Even people with full-time jobs are finding that their paychecks are basically already assigned before they get them. Rent, groceries, insurance, gas, utilities take up most of it right away without much flexibility. That leaves almost no space for anything unexpected to happen without consequences. So when something does come up, people aren't really choosing between wants anymore. They're choosing which necessity to delay or which bill to split up. And that constant pressure builds up in a way that's harder to see from the outside because life still feels normal. But internally, it feels like you're one step away from everything stacking up at once. Because it's not just one big financial crisis, it's a non-stop feeling of being behind even when you're doing everything quote unquote right. And that mindset starts to change how people think about spending, saving, and even planning for the future at all.
Went to the grocery store for 3 things: eggs, milk, and bread. And my bill was almost $30. It's insane. It's insane. My mortgage is almost $3,000. My car payment is $680. My HELOC is $600. It cost me $80 to fill up my gas tank and $300 in groceries. And then we have medical bills that we have to catch up on. My electric bill is almost $400. My gas bill is almost $200. My internet is about $50. And we're supposed to survive how? My husband makes really good money, but we're living paycheck to paycheck. We are literally paying just to survive because we had triplets and have never been able to catch up. Trying to work from home, barely making any money at all, but I'm busting my butt to do that. I get free products sent to my house every single day, but I'm not making money from that. It's a free product. So it looks like I'm making a lot of money, but I'm not. I work for Amazon, Sam's Club, Walmart. I work on Venable, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, TikTok. and I'm barely making any money. I can barely keep my head above water. I feel like I'm drowning all the time. Why is America like this? It doesn't make any sense. Our family has 6, and we're barely surviving. And if I went back to work, I start to think of all the things that need to get done around the house. The laundry, the cleaning, the landscaping, the cooking, the home repairs that are piling up that I'm trying to catch up on because it's spring and I'm now seeing it even more. And all the other things that have to get done. I don't know how I can go back to work and do all that and take care of my kids and be present for them when they're still young. And I'm not saying all of this or any of this to make anyone feel bad for me. I'm actually just really asking, how are we all surviving?
What's interesting is that this isn't just something people are saying online anymore. It's something businesses are reacting to directly. Some companies that depend on steady everyday spending are starting to adjust because customers are pulling back in noticeable ways. Even places like Planet Fitness have had to rethink raising prices because they know members are already feeling stretched and they might cancel instead of paying more. That kind of decision doesn't happen unless companies think people are close to their limit, because gyms usually rely on stable memberships month after month. Food brands like Kraft have also seen shifts, with most people trading down to cheaper options instead of buying name brands like they used to. It's not just that people stop buying food, it's that they changed what they bought, switching sizes, used coupons, and cheaper alternatives that make everything last longer. And even bigger purchases are slowing down too, in a way that's starting to show up in sales reports. Companies that sell appliances like washers and dryers are seeing weaker demand because people are delaying replacement way longer than before, even when things break down. Some households are choosing to repair things multiple times instead of replacing them because the upfront cost is just too high right now. These aren't emotional reactions, they're spending patterns showing up across completely different industries at the same time. And when companies from completely unrelated sectors are all adjusting at once, it starts to show a broader shift in consumer behavior. So it stops being about individual choices and starts being about overall pressure on households that affect everything from groceries to big durable goods, because it's showing up in both daily essentials and long-term purchases in a way that's hard to ignore, which means people aren't just cutting back on extras anymore. They're quietly reconstructing how they spend their life just to keep things stable.